ah, if you didn't laugh, you would probably cry. What is up, Jeromes? We're back. Happy Monday out there, everyone, everywhere. Well, it will be a happy Monday because it probably can't be worse than Sunday. The greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers somehow squeaked by the Vikings in the stronghold, U.S. Bank Stadium, 43-34. Imagine with a Mike Zimmer team scoring 34 points and losing badly. So it'd be what it be. We're here to talk some Vikings Q&A as well as hang out. We got a bunch of stuff in the hopper. We got a video uploading. And yeah, Sunday's game reinforced why the Vikings need to sign Snacks Harrison. And so we know that Spielman watches this channel, and we know that we sometimes repeat ourselves, something that we believe strongly and passionately about, like trading for Yannick Ngakoue, even though yesterday, man, it's going to be a long season. Long but fun. And yeah, don't freak out. It is just one game. Have some fun. And so noted, this is what this channel is about. Like, it is about fun. We do keep it pretty apolitical here. Also, I like, so we did a video where we just read like douchey Packers fans tweets, or not tweets, comments. And it's really funny. Also, we get a lot of, hey, you're not as good as Tom Grossi. Well, it's like, I don't care. I really don't care at all. Again, like, growth of this channel, I could give two shits. Like, we do this because it's fun. We enjoy our OG Jeromes, the hardcore, the hardcore group, and it is great. And I don't know. Like that's the downside. Once you get into football season, like, people definitely get all up in their emotions, and like they're not. They get pissed because you're slightly irked. They get pissed because you're not as pissed as they are. Because, man, like, there were some Vikings fans comments yesterday where, like, you could tell, like, this is probably the worst thing that happened to him in 2020. And that's saying a lot. Like, a football game, like, the worst thing that happened in a year, this year, really. But it's okay. We got a ton of questions. We'll get to all of them because that's what we do. Support the channel, purplefw.com/support. Check out the Discord. Do all of that up. I would say join Survivor, except that's closed. Hey, my first pick won, so I picked the Bills to beat the shit out of the Jets, which is great. All right, so let's see, first one. Mr. Popo, Hughes overrated. Come on, it's time to admit that. Never. Also, people want to trade Hunter for 3 first-round picks. First-round picks don't guarantee success. Also, it doesn't guarantee that they're bad, but nah. Also, yeah. We got a lot of Vikings fans that just admit that Aaron Rodgers is good. Never. Like, I will admit when Matthew Stafford has a good game. I will admit when Mitchell, probably not Mitchell Trubisky Ponder, but yeah, we'll call a spade when someone plays good against the Vikings. I will never do it with the Packers. Never. Like, ever. Never. Mr. Popo, I don't know about other fans, but Kirk did well for 18 minutes. He had the ball. Yes. Some say it was trash yards, but the same can be said about Rodgers up being by so many points. Man, that last line is depressing. Cousins played well in the first half when they had the rock, minus the lazy interception. It was a piss poor play call on the safety. The first drive was nails. That throw to Rudy was whoo. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around for that game on Sunday. Kirk Cousins wasn't it. I mean, yes, against prevent defense, but he scored 3 touchdowns in the final stanza with 3 straight 2-point conversions. That's worth something. AG, does Zim have Parkinson's? Or is he going to slap around some guys in the locker room? So definitely not going to speculate on that, but a lot of people saw it. Zimmer's, yeah. Tanner Klepp, our defensive tackles put up no pressure. We should sign Damon Snacks Harrison. Well, yes, and so the video is uploaded right now. Is talk about signing Snacks. Now, it's not specifically for him rushing the pass, or whatever you get out of him as a pass rusher is a bonus. But what he does is he limits the run game. So instead of facing 2nd and 3, which is a green light for the offense to go YOLO, take their shot, and that down and distance, you get 2nd and 8. You get 2nd and 7. You get 2nd and 9. So stopping the run on early downs does take the pressure off of the passing game. It really does. So yes, absolutely sign Snacks Harrison. And also, I don't know what changed. Like, Patterson and Zimmer knew that Jaleel Johnson and Shamar Stephen are very yeah. Armand for Watts, TBD. Hercules, TBD. James Lynch, TBD. But, yeah, like, yes. Tristan D, 531. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to lose faith in the Vikings. They continue to not show up in big games year after year. Us fans deserve a lot better, and it's really frustrating. What can you do? It's true, but what can you do? Samoa 808. Why must existence be so painful? It's a little bit of suffering in this simulation gives us a better life in the next simulation, or I don't know, something like that. Jonathan Cruz, why didn't I see much of a pass rush? I ain't getting home. Like I mean, there's so many like ancillary things that you can blame. Like bottom line, at the end of the day, they didn't get it done. Fadi had a big opportunity, didn't get it done. Yannick dinged up and in the building for a week, didn't get it done. You could say that no fans. I mean, the fact that the Packers could call plays at the line and audible on the road is just embarrassing, and I get it. Every team had to deal with it, as well as you jump off sides 3 times and give them a fresh set of downs or a free play at home. Really? Just Chase and Gelke. Adrian Peterson had 93 rushing yards after only a week of practice with the Lions. Old man still has it. Yeah. Well, we said that Adrian still has that. And it's not like he had to learn the intricacies of the offense, because he does have some familiarity with Bevel, as well as when he was in, it was, hey, Adrian, here is the ball. Run straight ahead. Justin Warstill. Play calling was really bad. Yeah, so the Kubiak scripted plays were dynamite. Once they got off a script, it was not good. It was really not great. Well, second half, it sort of was what it was. But second quarter, like when they actually did have the ball, very questionable. Scott Nelson. Why do our corners consistently play 5 yards off the line of scrimmage in short yard situations? Well, typically they aren't given carte blanche. They are told their alignment. They're told what to do. And, I mean, obviously it's something that the coaching staff signed off on. Otherwise, that would have been rectified rather quickly. I think what it is that they're more afraid of Holton Hill, Cameron Dantzler, Mike Hughes giving up the big play as opposed to what's in front of them. But, I mean, when it's 3rd and 4, then you give up a 5-yard slant. Isn't that the big play? But, yeah. Jonathan Cruz. Did we just witness the effects of a weird offseason plus no preseason with the rookie cornerbacks? Certainly possible. Although, I will posit, like, we're going to go back and watch the All-22 of Dantzler. I think Dantzler played a lot better than he got credit for, because on a lot of his completions that were given up, again, he was 7 for 7 on targets, but a lot of them, he was in good position. It was just an okay throw or a very good play by the receiver. Right. So, Hoops, did Jeff Gladney even play? I feel like you didn't see him on the field. Why didn't they draft someone that's hurt? Why draft someone that's hurt? Well, the meniscus seems to be good to go. He did play 9 snaps in garbage time, but I think that you'll have to start working him into the rotation, especially if Holton Hill continues to play that we did. Like, Hughes rightfully gets roasted. Dantzler, I mean, welcome to the NFL. It is what it is. But Holton Hill, my God, he had an absolutely bat bleep atrocious game. And we've seen atrocious cornerback games before. Like, we've seen not peak Xavier Rhodes. Like, we've seen Benny Sapp. We've seen Robert Tate. We have seen Chris Cook. Yeah. Stanley Morris. Hughes is not that good, man. He wasn't yesterday. Dantzler's needle was on E. Holton Hill needs to stay suspended. I don't think Dantzler's needle is like a gas needle, but yeah. Holton Hill needs to stay suspended. It's maybe some of the worst cornerbacks I've ever seen. That is true. Science Terrence Newman. Oh, boy. And the only thing worse than cornerbacks was the offensive line. That is all fired Dennison. Well, parts of the offensive line were okay. Bradbury had a decent game. Reef was okay. Dozier did pretty good, given circumstances. Elfline gave up 5 pressures and a sack. O'Neal had 2 bad plays. One of them was because of Pat Elfline, where they messed up the T&E stunt with Zadarius Smith, as well as he had a really bad false start as well on 3rd and 11, I believe. Offensive line was not as bad as you would thought, and it greatly got overshadowed by the absolutely stankiness of the defense. Also, like Zim, like, we understand that the buck is supposed to stop with you, it seems like it doesn't. But when it's specifically your defense, your pride and joy, the thing that you focus all of your time on, the thing that you still call plays on, the thing that, because you completely ignore the offense and just outsource it to because you want a head coach of the offense. The fact that your defense was the reason why the Vikings lost yesterday, I mean, that needs to be answered for. That needs to be held accountable. Oakview. It's pretty simple to me. Don't play action on the one. Give targets to Packers. Give the targets Packers. Give agree. Seth V. Herman. When is Zimmer going to call out Barr? He's been a scheme liability for the past years, and they just keep playing him. She moved on defensive end when Daniil's out. That's actually a very astute point. Anthony Barr did not have a good game yet again. He had probably the worst season of his career last year. After he signed that massive contract, he remains to be a captain. He remains to be a Pro Bowler. It's just, okay. No. Like, Kendricks is 10 times the player Anthony Barr is, and it's not even close. Bunch of letters. Viking secondary was asked yesterday straight up. Cardinals don't plan on re-signing Patrick Peterson per report. Why not trade for him as well? Why not? Hashtag cap is a myth. It absolutely. The Vikings have $57,000 in cap space, and I say do it. I say actually don't restructure Barr because that would actually incentivize keeping him around long term. Restructure Cousins. Restructure Thielen. Sign Snacks Harrison. Re-sign Josh Klein and trade for Patrick Peterson. Don't care. I do not care at all. This is how much I care. Torrey Hansen. Do you expect to sign in this week with no pass rush or being able to really stop the run, a.k.a. Snacks Harrison? Snacks, yes. Do it. Is this video loaded yet? Yeah, it's up. There you go. Next up is Stan Lamar. So Devontae Adams, who's not as good as Thielen, BC Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs. Thielen may be only true to that, but outside him, Devontae is a proud father of three and three red stepchildren named Hughes, Dancer, and Hill. Why they gotta be redheaded? Like, why you gotta pick on gingers? Gage Sandin. Kamara is really living up to that contract. Meh. Not bad for a part-time player. Stanley Morris, who's winning a fight, Clinton or W. Bush? So Clinton's got the Clinton body count. Actually, we probably shouldn't talk about that. We might end up suicided. We might end up with 2 shots in our head, and it'd be ruled a suicide. So, no. Andy Zhang. How much of the blame goes on the passive play calling? Defensively, a lot. Because when it was clear that the Vikings weren't getting home with 4, yes, is like, all right, blitzing Aaron Rodgers, and it's like, he'll pick you apart. He was picking you apart anyway. Again, if you're going to strike out, go down swinging, not looking. Diego Sid. Watched the game yesterday. The offense looked pretty good. Kirk seemed more mobile. Those 2-point conversions were on spot. Better get some coverage of pass rush. I want to see Rudy and Irv Smith utilize more. Yeah, because the offense, when they're actually on the field, again, 18 minutes and 44 seconds of possession is the least amount of time a team has had the rock in recorded NFL history since 1977. How stupid is that? LB, anyone else excited to see Thielen versus Rhodes on Sunday? Yes, thank God. Exercise the demons. Ethan Griffith. Have a lot of comments after the season is back. See the channel is growing and showing. Keep it up, Andy. Thank you. Why was their play calling so bad? Play action from our own end zone and 4th down Hail Mary. Well, I mean, Gary Kubiak hasn't really called plays since 2016, so maybe that's a little bit of rust. Maybe that's a little bit of cockiness. That's fine. As well as, so the 4th down play would have worked if Thielen, if Cousins would have thrown to Thielen as opposed to a guy who's been here for like 2 seconds. Yeah. Quan Wynn. What happened to Mike Zimmer's mentality of going down swinging too damn soft up front on deep? That's a good question. It really is. It's almost like he thought that this was a preseason game because he just kept with the vanilla defense. We don't want to give anything away for week 8. Brett Vuvuzelas. Last question. Do you think the touchdown to Devontae Adams, me personally, I thought he was out. I think he was out. He didn't get the right foot down. And it was very convenient that they didn't have the best camera angle on his feet. Like, what was that camera doing? Obviously, if the receiver's going to the front corner, feet are going to be an issue. So the camera doesn't pan down to the feet. It magically just gets cut off and cropped right at his knee. Great. Cool. Paz Mello. How do you think each corner played? I think Hughes was bad. I think Holton Hill had his worst game ever. I think Dantzler was bad, but also hopeful with Dantzler because a lot of Dantzler, it wasn't so much that he was completely in opposition. He was just like a quarter second, just like, All right. So I think that will be fine. Pulford Skull. First of all, everyone take a deep breath. Green Bay played well and took us to the cleaners. I will never admit that. We need to fix the pass rush ASAP. Yes. Get Jefferson on the field more. Yes. Coaches best to have a heart-to-heart. Yes. Cousins played okay, good. That works. Yes. Defense need adjustments, so work ASAP. Yes. We expected problems in no preseason camps. Packers didn't have preseason. So you have to, like, every team is working with the same offseason nonsense. So even though it's worth being noted, it's not an excuse for anyone. Evan Castigway, Alexander Madison outrun Cook last game. To a degree, like, he had 21 yards on the final play before the half. Well, third to last play before the half, sure, as well as he racked up some yards in garbage time. He didn't outrun Dalvin, as well as, I mean, Dalvin's 2 touchdowns was the reason why his yards per carry is pretty low, because, I mean, after you score, they stop counting the yards. Should we let Cook walk and give Madison the carries? No, I think they're a perfect 1-2 punch. We'll see more Madison in upcoming games. I think you'll see him worked in. He did have 2 carries on that first drive, so it was obviously in the scripted plays that Madison was going to be a factor. Let's see here. Give a couple shout-outs to let us know where you're watching from. Always enjoy doing that on a Monday. Get your coffee hot, man. It's good. Also, so the Packers comments, like, the worst one was, like, insulting the mugs. These are the greatest beverage vessel ever, even though I don't drink out of them, because I'd have to wash them and they'd be out of commission. Scully, Barr is the most overrated player of all time. I mean, I've been an Anthony Barr apologist, and I'm starting to be like, yeah, that's fair, dog. Never had more than 4 sacks, never had more than 80 tackles for a 4-3 linebacker. How do you manage to get into Pro Bowl 4 time? Brand name recognition. Also, after you made the Pro Bowl and subsequent voting years, because the people who vote are the coaches, the players, and fans. Like, fans don't know anything. Players are focused on their own damn opponents. Coaches are focused on their own damn team. They don't know what's going on. Like, you're telling me that the coaching staff of the Dolphins knows what's going on in the NFC North if they don't play them that year? No. All right, so voting for it is like, well, Anthony Barr made a Pro Bowl before, so I'll just vote for him. That's exactly what happens. That's why no one should be allowed to vote for anything ever. Sam K. So the 2007 Giants' first game, they lost to the Cowboys 35-45. That same team went 10-6, made the Super Bowl, beating Tom Brady 17-14. So who is the Michael Strahan of this team? I guess it would be Daniil. And also, who is going to be David Tyree? Oh, it's going to be Chad Beebe. The secret weapon. Babes. Robert Barweiler. What happened to Brian O'Neill yesterday? I saw 2 occasions where he was just awful. This guy's supposed to be our offensive line stud. I just hope it was Russ with no preseason. Well, he hopped off sides once. I think he was credited for that sack on Zadarius Smith, except it really was Pat Elflein screwing up. Shocker. But overall, he had a pretty solid game. I think he had the best PFF grade amongst the offensive linemen. I think it was in the 70s, like high 70s, if I remember right. So I think overall, he didn't play bad. He just had a couple bad moments. But again, what can you do? A couple shout-outs. I think that's the first time I've gone down here. Jabrisky, Skull from Tremplo. What up? Kaiser Helm, Chicago. Purple Rain, Wisconsin. Logan DeGraff, Skull from Ripon, California. Samuel Sandra Skull from Austria. Shrimp on the Barbie. Brian Kayukin. Mesa. Project Harm. Cedar Rapids in the Hizzy. Boredom, Waconia. Waconia is great. Love the lake. I love that it's a little bit more chill. Southwest Metro representing. Zach Bell, Score, Northern Colorado. What is up? Everyone, thanks for coming along. This Monday, get up off the canvas. Like Rocky coming out for another round. Mancos, Austin, Texas. What up? Boom Addict, Lacrosse, great town. Justin Jones, New Bern, North Carolina. Come on, raise up. Javier HD, Hermosillo, Mexico. Representing south of the border. I love it. Maraban, Score from Toronto. The 6. Thomas Hayes, Boston, kill me now. Hey, at least you're in Boston. Yeah, become a quasi-Patriot fan this year because Cam Newton actually makes them fun. Sio Nagona, Ayogna, Skull from Fresno. Live down the street from Eric Hendricks High School. What up? And Kevin Burrow, Skull from New Jersey. That's right. All right, next up is Tom Schmitty. Sometimes it takes an ass whooping to pull yourself together. Yeah, was it the Kendrick Lamar song? Sit down and be humble. A lot of sitting down and being humble today. Do you think that was the wake-up call the Vikings needed? Well, so early in the season, before you're even feeling your oats, I don't know. But I think they're going to come out hungry next week and take it to Rivers. I agree. Also, man, the Colts look like ass. Like, Phillip Rivers looked as bad as Aaron Rodgers should have. Drill Smith, real question. Why wasn't Gladney on the field? That's a good question. I think that may change, especially if Holton Hill keeps playing the way that he did. Skull Zone. Will the Vikings cornerbacks be able to step up against the Colts? Well, they got Ty, they got Paris Campbell, who's good. You like the rookie Michael Pittman Jr., but Phillip Rivers, no bueno. Sean Johnson, Phillip Rivers was bad last year, so I don't even know what the Colts are thinking. Who do you think will be thrown under the bus for this terrible game, and who should be? Cousins, who should be? Zimmer. And man, this entire weird off season, it's going to turn me into a Kirk Cousins apologist, and I'm certainly not that. King Husky, Turtle Shark, Kool-Aid Man Skull from Lonsdale, Minnesota. Love Lonsdale. Actually, that's where we go hunt, down near Lonsdale, in an undisclosed location. Portford Skull, Nashville in the house. Renee, Philly reppin'. Who's the Eagles fan who always yells? He's hilarious. But it was when your team blows a 17-point lead to a team that doesn't even have a name, and it's just like the guy going like, F! It's great. Man, the Eagles are rough. Viking Skull from Smoky, California. I don't know if that's an actual city or in reference to the wildfires, but either way, stay safe out there. Senley, how do you go offsides 3 times with no crowd? That's a very good question. Like, how do you get fired on your day off for stealing boxes? Alex, a Heitlinger, Skull from Plano, Texas. Woo! Maurice Booth Jr., Skull from Brooklyn. BK in the house. What up? You guys are the best. Next up is Thorvald Von Johnson, Serious Food Challenge. Come up with a legit recipe for Vikings humble pie. Make it tasty because I think Vikings fans will be eating a lot of it. Actually, like, what's crow? Like, can you eat crow? Like, is it legal to harvest crow? That's a good question. Can you eat? Because I imagine it probably tastes like chicken. And, how I cook crow. Well, I could just get a chicken or like a pheasant. Because you see crows all the time. Can you just take a poke and a pot shot at them? Crow hunting is a bit like duck hunting with decoys and blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God. People actually do hunt crow. So, I mean, do you use a shotgun? I guess you do. Next up, Pulford Skull. Trey Barr this week for the linebacker needy teams, Cowboys, Broncos, Pats. They all do. For some picks and nose tackle or offensive line, take his money. Well, the problem is that his money's already guaranteed since it's after week 1. I think it was guaranteed anyway, and he has like a $20 million dead cap hit, so it's probably not going to happen. But Science Snacks inclined, I agree on that. Boom Addict started the Vikings D this week. Yeah, there's nothing more depressing than when your fantasy defense puts up a negative score, or even just, it doesn't make sense, but I'd rather have a negative score than 0 because that's just demoralizing. Meng Mor Vang, why do we show up when we're losing during the game? SMH. Why is Kirk also a deer in headlights? Is it our line? Kirk looked good yesterday. Quarterback's got a taste of the league. Do you think they'll get better down the road? Yes, especially Dantzler. Truck Ownership 101. Can you make a revenge tour video highlighting some game footage of our departed members on their new teams? I think you're going to like finding clips of Rhodes from today. He blew the coverage on the final touchdown, cost him game. So Diggs had a good game. Adrian almost ran for 100. I guess Trent Williams, technically, you count him in the sphere, had a good. PJ Hall had a good game on Thursday, by the way. Who else? Teddy looked good. That Teddy deep ball to Robbie Anderson. Woo! Even though they lost at home, it is what it is. See who else? Everson jumped off sides. Actually, how did Everson do? Also, who picked these Monday night games? The legendary rivalry of the Titans at the Broncos and then Giants Steelers. That's stupid. I don't know. Although we've said this before, I think Monday night I always get shafted with matchups. Let's see, Everson, 3 tackles, pretty standard. There you go. Also, he jumped off sides. Next up is God, it is so annoying that the Vikings. So Everson signed on Saturday, Well, it was reported that it was on Saturday of him signing with the Cowboys, and it was like right afterwards, Daniil got his tweak. Just frustrating, man. Frustrating. Next up is Brevin says, I think Cameron Dantzler played good, but we need more of a pass rush to a degree. And yes, absolutely. Salvage Skull. Do you think if we had Daniil, we would have won? Would have been a lot closer, as Rodgers wouldn't have had all damn day back there. Also, do you think that we would have won without the safety by Alexander? Yeah. For me, it was a turning point. Skull, I believe. Yeah. Patrick, why does this happen to us? Well, we got 60 years of history. We know. We are the battered bastards of the Vikings fandom. Brett Vuzela. So what was your opinion on Kirk against the Packers? I think he played well. I think overall, given the circumstances, the fact that he was never on the field, he played well. I think that his pocket awareness was greatly developed and greatly got better. Like, there was a number of times where he slid in the pocket and either ran or was continually looking downfield and made the throw. Plus, that deep ball is still on point. Too evil to hope. What was the bigger problem, being outcoached or outplayed? Both. Traveler, what will it take for the Vikings to change up their current offensive line strategy? Guard adjustments. That's a good question. If Elflein continues to play like this for the next 80,000 games, then they'll switch things up. Kaiser Helm 14. I was pissed almost all day today. So that was yesterday. Until reading the Packers fan comments video came out, the Eagles lost to Washington. But I was really disappointed with Yannick and Afadi. Hughes might be a bust. JJ looks bright. Zimmer, I want your ass to be yelling the F of that defense. And Sign Snacks Harrison now. Yeah, I mean, it was less than ideal yesterday, the game, but it's 1 out of 16. It be what it be. Move on. Charlie Boltman. May not be apples to apples, but at least his pairs of apples are different genotypes of apples. Rick is given the a little better life. WDA Robbie. Should the Vikings sign Kirk Fitzpatrick to get some veteran help? Because as much as I love Hughes, does he mean Drake? Does he mean Drake Kirkpatrick? Because he's on the Cardinals, so ain't gonna work. Tristan D, 531. Are you going to be worried if we lose next week as well? I mean, sure. The Vikings started 0-3 last year. I can't remember. If only that there was some way to look. Like, if only I had a box in front of me with all access to all the information in the known world. Minus the dark web. No, they didn't start 0-3. What am I thinking of? Am I thinking of 2017? No, not even that. What the hell am I talking about? I'm just making up stuff. Next up is the JDM. Was our secondary and pass rush overhyped? No, I think the secondary, you get what you get. Pass rush, yes. Without Daniil, Yannick, I mean, what would you really expect? 6 practices. Connor Spies, why do we extend Zimmer? It's kind of a good question. Ed Carr, how much do you think no preseason affected our corners? A lot. I think, well, you would think a guy like Holton Hill, 2 fully healthy camps, a season and a half when he was suspended, like, man, this is surprising. Hughes coming back from the injury, ACL 2 years ago, broken friggin' neck last year. Sure. And Dantzler, yeah. Jamie Cuker, how much does it cost to have Kirk abducted by aliens? He played good. And again, I'm not the biggest Kirk Cousins apologist in the world. Like, I'm not a Kirk Cousins bootlicker, but I mean, he played good. Let's see. What do I have today? We kind of have a lot. Scully, tank for Lawrence, LFG. I like that the team everyone thought was going to tank the Jaguars. They had a nice win, and maybe they'll get some momentum going. They actually look pretty good. That UDFA running back looked good. Laviska Shenault, my guy, is awesome. Thorvald Johnson. Thorvald Johnson, over under 6 wins this season. Who won't beat us? Over. Calm down. I might even take over 14.5. But You feel bad for DeAndre Swift. So if you didn't see the game, the Bears. So Trubisky actually led the Bears on a fourth quarter comeback. Lions had a shot to win it at the end, and DeAndre Swift had the game-winning touchdown in his hands in the front left corner of the end zone. Shades of Darren Nelson, 87 NFC title game, and they just dropped it. He really Georgia'd the hell out of that thing. So, yeah, I'm not impressed with the Lions. I'm not overly impressed with the Bears still. I think the Packers can still get got. I'm not really sweating. Kai Jaden, over under 2,600 calories burned by Holton Hill yesterday. Over, way over. Brett G. Actually, I would love if they did. If you remember Family Circus. Yeah, so remember Family Circus in the funny papers. Every now and then they would do a cartoon about following this kid around, traipsing whatever. So I wish they did that. Like, they have the technology, NFL Gen next gen stats of tracking a Holton Hill all damn game when he was targeted 11 times, I believe, and just see he covered 34 miles of just chasing after Devontae Adams. Brett G. Looks like a lot of people are already out of the survivor pool with that Colts loss to Jacksonville. Colts were the highest voted team once they got registered. That's a good looking question. We got to look at that. Oh, man, that's rough. I love when there's just like a big time upset and then like a survivor pool goes down. So we had, went 1-0. Woo. So we had 212 people in the survivor. And where does it say? Am I not logged in? Happens a lot. It doesn't matter. We'll look later. But starting out 1-0. I almost picked the Niners to beat the Cardinals. That's a mistake. Oh, by the way, Kyler Murray. Come on, son. Come on. The Niners going. Especially if that Kittle knee injury bothers him all season, that's going to be trouble. Let's see here. Connor Keck. Will our defense step up next week? Yes, they have no choice. Josh Imset. What's it going to take for this team to realize that if you don't win the trenches, you won't win against the big boys in the league? We'll have to go back and look at the tape. Carter Riemann, do the Vikings shuffle the corners for next week? I think you'll see more El Jefe Gladney. I think Hill and Hughes will have shorter leashes. I think Dantzler, you're just going to have to power through it and come out the other side better. I'm hopeful for Cameron Dantzler. Nicholas Meyer, we give up 43 a game. If we give up 43 a game, we will never win. Well, it's kind of like every team. Generally, if you give up 43 points, you're probably not going to win. D looked good through most of the first half, but succumbed to the top difference, time position difference. Yeah, you could tell, eventually that defense just got gassed. And they were pretty solid in the first half, but then just gassed. I mean, that's what happens when you're on the field the entire time. And, yeah, you can blame the offense. You can't really blame the offense. That was mainly on them, just not getting their ass off the field. Seth V. Herman, where on God's green earth was any semblance of a pass rush? You're not going to beat Green Bay by letting Rodgers sit back there untouched. It just hurt your young corners that got torched. It's fair. Westworld, I'm not mad. I'm just very disappointed. It's that's permanent, Vikings. The Vikings should just lean into the funniness. They should have an officially licensed shirt that says Vikings. We're not mad, just disappointed. That thing would sell. It'd be great. Sion Ayagna. Why is Cheeseburger Eddie even on the squad? He was trashing just for some reason. Seemed to be playing more than Fadi, unless I'm blind. No, Fadi led the way in snaps. Then I think Eddie got 30, somewhere in there. I think Herc should get more reps. Yeah, Hercules only played 10 snaps. Nathan Schultz, time to tank for Trey. Well, say the Vikings start out 0-4. Not going to happen, but just imagine in the simulation. Then maybe. Also, I think that the fact that the MVS isn't playing, or they're going to play 3 games or something stupid like that, I think that Trey Lance's draft stock, the fact that he was a one-year wonder, he could fall into the teens. So the Vikings may not even have to tank as far as you would think, or trade up as far as you think. Mark McCombs, is this Kirk's year to be great? Well, he has the massive opportunity. He could literally carry this team. So say it takes 6 to 8 weeks for this defense to get right. You got Hunter back, etc. And Kirk goes out there and actually wins a couple of ball games. Like, he wins a couple shootouts. He has those huevos. He's got those Kirky huevos. And then, yeah, absolutely, the legend of Kirk Cousins could begin. Kyle Rippentrop, how do we fix the secondary? Play better. I that's what it comes down to. Like, I don't think there's going to be a magic free agent walking in anytime soon. The Vikings are committed and they're stuck with these young cornerbacks. Have faith. Give it a little bit more time. They can't be worse than Sunday. Toby Larone. We really need fans back for our home games. Our old line sucks. Again, nothing new. Could we bring Klein back or try Brett Jones? Could we just fire Dennison already? That's all fair. Westworld. Fadio Deneba had 35 rushing snaps, had one pressure, which was on block. Talk about fool's gold. Yeah, Fadio did not have a great time. He did not. Pazmello. I know it's only a sample size, but did you like what you saw out of Yannick? He only had like 5 snaps before he got hurt. So I don't even know. I don't even think he recorded a pressure. I'm pretty sure he didn't. Bob to Bob. Should I start Rivers for fantasy? No. Actually, you should, just so the football gods will crap all over Rivers and give the Vikings a W. Charlie Boltman. Only one rookie played on defense unless you count the 9 garbage snaps from Gladney. Justin Worstel, did we release Smith, Barr, Wilson, Harris, Hughes before or after the season, and why did we give Cook a raise? Because that's what heroes do. And Harrison Smith played a good game. Kendricks played a good game. Barr, Wilson, Harris, Hughes, Hill, no, which is fair. So, all right, man, powering through on a Monday. It feels good, even though it does not feel good. Like, I do understand and commiserate the frustration of Sunday, but it is 1 week. There was no preseason. Yes, I understand that every single team went through that, but with so many young pieces, especially in that secondary, they're bound to get better because they can't be any worse. So keep hope alive, keep the faith. We'll keep it going there. That's it. We'll be back tomorrow. Live stream 11 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday. Sorry, bouncing out a little bit early. Got a lot-ish to do. It's good times. But anyways, support the channel, purplelifedid.com/support. Join the Discord. You know what to do.